Well, most of it was recorded at the barn, which is James's barn up at his place. That's where the basic tracks, vocals, and any instruments James played, for the most part, was done there. And then we went to Ocean Way out in Los Angeles to do background vocals, percussion. Luis Conte played all the percussion. And we also cut the Wild Mountain track, Wild Mountain Time. We cut the Wild Mountain Time track out there. Well, it's his first album of original material in 13 years, and I think the songs are great. I think they're as good as anything he's done previous, and his singing and his voice are as good as they ever were. I think the fans are going to love it. I mean, here's a guy who, since he started, he's been touring and recording continually. He's never stopped. And this new batch of songs, I think, are as good as any he's written. It's great songs, great singing, great musicians. What's not to like? It was basically live. All the tracks were cut live with the band. And we do several takes. We always say we're going to edit between the takes, but we never do. We end up choosing one take. And then the vocals, the percussion, and the horns and strings were overdubbed, as were Sting and Yo-Yo Ma. But essentially, the album is, most of it's recorded in the first 2 weeks. For James's vocal, we used a U67. We always test different mics, but that seems to be the one that's always the best with him. And we use the same U67 going back to, it's the same one he's used going back to Hourglass, I believe. But we also had a couple Telefunken mics, a C12 and a 251, and they sounded excellent also. So on certain songs, we mixed in a little of one or the other of those mics, depending on the song, the range he was in, and the timbre, the tonal quality he had. No challenges really, but because he was on tour during a lot of the making of it, we were traveling around, and on their off days, we would go into a studio, depending on where he was, and get some work done. But that actually turned out to be a great thing. We recorded in San Francisco and in Los Angeles in a couple of hotel rooms, and that was excellent. I wasn't sure at first, but we got a lot of help getting the gear set up, and it was a great way to record. And then in Philadelphia, a great studio, Milk Boy the Studio, we did some piano and vocal overdubs there. And in Buffalo, another great place, GCR Audio, Steve Gadd came in and played on Jolly Springtime, and we did the vocals on that song there. I myself, I do like 96K. I like high res, as does James and the musicians. We can hear the difference. I think, the real, listen for yourself and see what you can hear. But since 24-bit came in, I believe it sounded better. And I think 96K 24-bit sounds great for acoustic music. Well, he doesn't really have any equipment there. What he has is a great acoustic space, a beautiful wood open space with a lot of windows, and it's just beautiful for recording. So we use that space. It's very comfortable for the musicians, and we bring in whatever gear we need. Used to be more so, but not so much anymore. I guess because the places we go tend to have the same gear. I'm looking for the same kind of gear, an 8068 console, and the same microphones. I'd say they're very comparable for me. Well, James is very involved from the beginning. He leads the band during the recording. He has an idea of what he wants that he communicates to everybody, and through the whole process, he's very involved. He often comes up with many ideas of how to process sounds after they're recorded, let alone arrangement ideas. But sonic things he's into. He's into high fidelity, or fidelity in general, and he's involved all the way from the beginning to the very end, in every step of the way. I mean, it was originally Russ Titleman brought me in for October Road to engineer that. And then subsequently, James has asked me to come back and produce with him. So just over the years, we've developed a relationship and a system of working. And I think you become comfortable with people and like the team. And you know, all this is a team effort. So it's just carried on that way. Just his artistry is the main thing, but he's very down to earth, very humble. It's not work, it's just hanging out with your friends, and the music is always of the highest caliber, as is the playing and singing.